Hello and welcome to Good Time Pilates on YouTube. My name is Meg and today we're going to be doing a 10-minute workout using a chair. Any chair where you can find yourself in a setup, knees over ankles, in a relatively close to a 90-degree angle is totally great. As you can see, clearly I'm sitting on a stool. I'm going to face sideways on my chair so that you have a full visualization of what it is that I'm talking about in my body, but of course you can face in any direction. We'll begin, so we're just seated in a posture that our back is away from the back of the chair if you have a back on your chair, and your tail is at the very front edge. And then just see if you can find your eyes in a soft position. Your hands can rest a couple of places, maybe one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. I often like to find my hands on the outside of my rib cage, or maybe just resting on your thighs feels good today. We'll begin by trying to take some deep breaths. Even if we're just going to move our body for 10 minutes, taking the time at the beginning of our movement to take our body out of the fight and flight mode we often live in and bring ourselves into a place where our mind is connecting to what's happening, increases the benefits that we get from the movement tenfold. So wherever your hands landed on your body as you breathe in, can you feel your body expand outward into your hands? And then as you breathe out, letting your body lightly draw backwards, away from your hands. Because we are such forward-facing beings, we often like to breathe upward and forward in our body. So while you have the actual back of a chair or the echo of one behind you, as you breathe in, can you think about breathing backwards? Like you're trying to touch the chair behind you without actually leaning any farther backwards. And then again on your exhale, starting to feel the outsides of the body pull to the center. We begin to start to add on layers, so we're starting to bring some awareness to our full body as you breathe in, expanding. Imagine someone pulling the crown of your head to the sky. And then as you breathe out, can we start by pushing down through the feet and trying to feel like the gather of the core includes a little bit of pressure downwards through the bottom of our soles. Noticing as we start to incorporate a little bit of pressure through our feet that this increases our availability for finding some wrap deep and taking the hands to the thighs. Let your feet spread out a little bit so you've got two little angles of the legs. And we'll begin to find a little bit of a seated cat-cow sensation. So as you breathe in, can we send the tail backwards? Can we pull on the kneecaps and open our hearts to the sky? And then as you breathe out, holding the kneecaps, rounding backwards as much as you can, probably feeling back start to rest on the chair. If you need more space, just wiggling the tails farther forward. Inhaling to open the heart and exhaling to scoop backwards. Noticing if parts of the body feel like they're sticky or stuck. Letting the shoulders really soften from the ears. Maybe starting to feel like this turns into a little bit more of a wave. Heart coming forwards and heart waving back. Okay, pausing with the body so we just find seated nice and tall. Let your legs wiggle back towards the center. Feel your hands try to arrive in a prayer position. And then can we just start to take little scoops backwards, but without rounding the spine forward in opposition. So we're coming into a little baby C curve here. The goal is as we start to roll backwards that the crown of the head starts to go upwards. In opposition of rolling backwards, we're still feeling that pressure downwards through the feet. We will add a small march to this, so the next time you sit tall, can you bring one knee into the nose? Setting the foot back down, finding the exhale to scoop and find the roll. Inhaling to come up, and exhaling to activate. So these two simple actions, they have so much benefit for our body, right? This little scoop and a roll engages our core in relationship to movements we do often, getting off of the toilet, getting out of bed, getting off of the couch, right? The second movement that we're looking for is a bit of strength through our hip flexors at the front of the body, which often find themselves tight or weak because of how much time we spend seated at our desks, in our cars. The other benefits that we're getting here is that we're moving and we're shifting through our internal organs, right? So much of our systems live in this rib cage region at the back of the body. And this little sort of tuck and scoop just reminds them that they're not frozen in space. We're going to go one more, finishing off so we're equal on the left. Perfect. Setting the left foot down. Let's take a little neck stretch. Can the right hand try to wrap underneath the side of the chair? Let your left ear tilt to your left shoulder. Taking the right shoulder, see if you can roll it down and back a little bit more. Really let yourself hang. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Same thing other side. Left hand scoops underneath. Right ear, right shoulder. Really feeling that left shoulder try to roll down and back. Really try to let yourself hang. Big inhale, big exhale. Beautiful. Carefully coming up to top. Let's go 3 big shoulder rolls up and back. And reversing. Brilliant. Stacking nice and tall, coming back to a little bit of the marching sensation, but now we're going to try to be activating through our quad a little bit more. Can you extend the leg out to straight, and then can you flex and point your toes, and then coming back down. Same thing other side, extending away, flex, point, and release. The goal is that we don't dip backwards into the C curve that we were just working on, trying to keep our long, flat back. Extending the leg, point, flex, and release. Extending the legs, flex, point, and release. Feeling our quads start to fire up, right? Our quads are so responsible for the health of our knees, the health of our hips, feeling like we have the availability to really access a full straight leg. We're gonna go for 3 more. Flex, point. One of the iconic Pilates apparatuses is the chair, and your whole footwork series is done like this, seated up, trying to move the legs in relationship to your tall posture, and understanding how building that relationship to gravity helps us so much, which is our daily functionality. Let's take 1 more each side, and press down, and release. Brilliant. Let your legs open back out into their wide position. See if your arms can come into a squeeze in front of the chest. Pressing down through the feet. Can we open the arms up to find a little squeeze of your elbows behind you, and then closing them together. Still rooting down through the feet, so really nice and tall in your posture. We add a second movement when your shoulders are squeezed together as much as they can behind you. Can we take a little snow angel? Try to touch opposite elbows. Try to squeeze elbows behind the back. Come back to center and close up. A little open, above the head, down in a squeeze, release, and a close. 2 more. Squeeze, up, down, center, close. 1 more time. Open, squeeze, release. This time, let's interlace your hands behind your head, finishing all of this juiciness with a little bit of a spinal circle. Right elbow tries to touch right kneecap. Heart dives forward between the arms, finding left elbow touching left, opening your heart up, trying to arc over the back of your chair. Reverse your direction. Left elbow, left knee, heart dives forwards, releasing yourself to center and open it up. Good. Sliding the feet back together. Take the right leg over the left leg in your figure 4. Feel your right arm press the knee down and away from the face. If it still feels healthy, maybe a bow forward over the leg. Maybe a few circles of your ankles, just getting your blood flowing to your toes. And then we'll switch. Left leg comes over the right. Pressing down with the left hand, try to sit tall. Folding forwards. Maybe a few circles of the ankles. really in to let yourself come up to the top. And that's a little movement snack using a chair. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and thanks for moving with me.